Two people everybody loves in a joyous Christmas rom-com with a dog on screen for most of the film. How is this not better? Yesterday. It was literally yesterday that I watched Bone Alone and said, you know, if you took a dog and Christmas and did a whole fun thing around that in a nice film without having the dogs talk, without having their mouths move with that like most horrifying CGI, like they become my sleep paralysis demons kind of thing, you could make a really fun Christmas film. Perhaps even a Christmas classic. Well, you know what? Shouldn't listen to everything I say. Merv stars Charlie Cox and Zooey Deschanel and also Gus the dog, yes. Charlie is a teacher who likes dinosaurs, photoshopping his dog's head onto other things, and he still watches Facebook friendiversaries. Charlie Cox is really in his mid-40s, huh? Anyway. So, and Zooey Deschanel is basically every Zooey Deschanel character, but now she's an eye doctor. They have an eye doctor dating Daredevil. It's comedy. Anyway, doesn't matter. And then they've broken up and they're sad about it. And Merv the dog is also sad and they shared a dog. And they seem to not, like, as the film goes on, you'll realize they don't know each other well enough for having decided to share a dog together. But it doesn't matter. And Merv the dog is depressed enough that Charlie Cox decides he's going to bring him to Florida. Does that make someone less depressed? Okay. So they go to a dogs-only Florida beach resort for a holiday. Is America a real place? What the fuck? Okay, so whatever. Prepare to have yourself rage constantly at these two lovable people for arguing and making this poor, nice, good boy sad. As Charlie brings them out there and then Zooey follows them. Like, they share custody one week, and on his week he decides to bring him out to Florida for a holiday and she follows them across the country. That's weird. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty weird. And then they, are forced together in that kind of trope that is basically every modern Christmas film. You know, all the ones that are called, like, Xmas? Like, ex-girlfriend? Yeah. Just a note, I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody is out there writing one of the streaming slop Christmas films for next year right now. It's not a good trope. It's just not a good trope. Anyway, this film is pretty much one part wow as you watch how much these people are into their dog, one part sad Merv face, and one part midlife crisis version of New Girl. Yeah, they make jokes about how awful people are, the people that write like films where dogs die and things like that. It's all very meta and fun. And the charms of these two actors do help to mitigate what is a pretty dull script, honestly. Yeah, I mean, they're both very fun in it and likable, and the dog is on screen a lot, which is helpful. But the writing in this film is not that good. And I guess the one successful thing the writing does do, or maybe it's partly just down to the two of these actors not really feeling like they're in their mid-40s, but it's very much manages to avoid the Hallmark feel. And I guess there's a few things behind that, because partly it doesn't feel like it's directed at the sole primary audience of your mum turning it on in the background while she's knitting. Like, doesn't feel like that, and that's good. But it also just doesn't feel like that because it doesn't feel Christmassy. Like, they spend the vast majority of the film in Florida. That's like the least Christmassy place on the planet. And nothing that they do there screams Christmas. Like, they lie on a beach in the sun and sing Bare Naked Ladies in the car. Could it have been a Christmas song? Like, I just... So... It doesn't, and that's the problem, because this is kind of a little bit trashy rom-com. It's got a dog. That's kind of some bonus points, and the actors are some bonus points. I'd almost consider, I could almost be tricked into thinking it's a good film if it also had the Christmas bonus points. But despite being set at Christmas, it gets less like Christmas bonus points in my mind than like Die Hard, you know? There is a very fun salsa dancing scene that was really nice. There's a few scenes like that are good, but it just does feel like it's plodding along, like not really going anywhere quickly. The energy I find strange about this is that neither of them is kind of pitched by the film. Neither of them is framed as the lead. And I feel like this is one of those ones where it would get along a lot better if it really framed Zooey Deschanel's character as the lead. And it doesn't do that. It kind of shares it between them, and it doesn't... Just the story they tell doesn't quite work. But there's some, you know... The story is fine. And there's some interesting twists and turns to it. It's just such a basic premise that you're sitting there going like, yeah. Alright. Like, there's not a single thing here that's going to encourage you to, like, engage your brain and actually think about whether this is even good. And that's what made it difficult to review. But I think I wanted a good Christmas film this year, because there hasn't been one. It was the same thing as when I watched Jingle Bell Heist, and I thought, well, this isn't terrible. Do I like it? No. And the answer again here is, no, not really. I wish these two in a Christmas film together, with a dog, I wanted it so badly to be good, and it's just not. So I'm giving another Xmas film 2.5 stars. We're really running out of potential Christmas movies this year that might be one that's, not awful. They're pretty much all awful. It's not been a good time. They're reviewing all these Christmas movies this year. It's normally like a lot of crap, but then one good one. It's not this year. Subscribe. Maybe it'll come up.